It is the summer of frogging. I keep making major mistakes in the pieces that I'm making, or I'm unhappy with certain things that are in the designs that I'm making. And I had to frog this whole piece once, and I had to frog another sweater twice, and now another half sweater. I'm really struggling. But before we hop into that, my name's Courtney. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you like this video, make sure you like it and subscribe, and come back for future educational crochet content. This video is what I hope will be the start of a new series that I'm calling Stitching Sundays, where I'm going to give you a little window into the life of a designer, what projects I have going on, both with yarn and without yarn in my business. But we're gonna focus heavily on the yarn. With these Stitching Sunday videos, I want them to be a little more informal, a little more off the cuff, and just give you a little bit more insight into who I am as a person, as a designer, as a business owner. So if you have any questions about anything I mention in the video, anything I don't mention in the video, any crochet related questions, just pop them in the comments below and I'll read them and try to answer them in the next Stitching Sunday video. Stitching Sunday is going to be either once a week, maybe bi-weekly, maybe once a month. I'm not sure yet, but it's where I'll update you on what I've got going on. I am currently wearing my Miranda Button Up. This pattern comes out this Thursday for email subscribers or Friday for non-email subscribers, and it is one of the projects that I recently had to frog. I'll put up a picture here of my original sample, and you might look at it and you might look at this and say, they look the exact same. What are you talking about? And yes, the differences are subtle, but they're enough that it made me want to redo it. So in the original sample that I made, my gauge was slightly taller and I had a couple fewer stitches in each underarm, which made the ease a little less than this sample. Being somebody whose bust is on the higher end of my size, it meant that I was almost getting a bit of negative ease in the shirt when I wanted like a slight bit of positive ease. Another thing I wasn't very happy with, and you can't tell in this photo because it's tucked in, was the top was not long enough to properly tuck in, and I wanted it tucked in. And if you're like, well, if it's top down, you could just add a couple more rows. Yeah, I could, if I had realized that before I did all of the bits and pieces. So this is worked all in one piece from the top down. And when you reach the bottom, you start working on the plackets right away for the buttons, and then you attach the collar. So if I wanted to just add length to it, I would have had to take off the collar and the plackets and the trim already. And at that point I was like, I might as well just remake it. So I remade it, and I'm so much happier with this final piece. That's about all I'll say about this piece because I'm going to have a whole video dedicated to it on Thursday when it launches. The next piece that is currently in the works is going to be hard to show here. It's my Mayci Maxi skirt. This one thankfully worked up like a dream. There was no frogging. It is a very basic, very beginner friendly design, and I really needed that based on all of the other things that are going on in the design world for me right now. Mayci has either an I-cord or an elastic waist. There's an option for both in the pattern, and that one is going to come out in August. So it's currently with testers. That's where this one's at right now. The next sweater is likely going to have an entire YouTube video about the process because it has been grueling, to say the least. I want this pattern to be really, really great because it's going to be my first kit with Lion Brand. I've worked with Lion Brand a lot in the past using yarn support, which is basically where they just give me yarn to design with, and there's really no expectation beyond that. There's no money exchanged. Whereas with a kit, Lion Brand pays me to give them my pattern so that they can sell it with the kit. I still retain rights to the pattern, so I still will be selling this pattern as normal, but I also get a little bit extra from selling the pattern to Lion Brand. So If you watched my live back in May, I showed a drop shoulder version of this triangle grid sweater, and I was super excited about it. And as I continued on, it just kept getting more and more complicated in how I'd be able to write it up as an actual pattern. So I made the tough decision to nix that and make it a yoke style sweater instead. So then this is what I came up with after frogging the whole body and like 3/4 of a sleeve on the previous one. I did this, and I was pretty confident that I'd be able to write this up in a way that would be short, concise, beginner friendly, and all of that jazz, and like relatively easy for me as well too, math wise. Boy, was I wrong. I have not cried trying to do the math for a sweater in many, many years, and this one made me cry. And I was like, you know, it's really not that serious. I shouldn't have to cry over these things. And I made the call to keep all of the math that I had done and to write up basically a blind pattern that's going to follow the same kind of vibe as this sweater, but instead of being a checkerboard, it's just going to be like wide stripes of the different textures going down the body. It's not what I wanted, but it is going to be better in the long run. Anytime that I've done a pattern that has given me difficulty like that, if I push through with the difficult version, I'm never super happy with the end result. So I'm going back to my roots, keeping it more simple, and I already love the pattern so much. I haven't even made the sweater from the pattern yet. My testers are working on their versions with the pattern, and I am going to have to frog this whole sweater again and remake it again, on top of just finishing remaking this top. It's a lot. So say goodbye to this one. The next time you see her, she will look a lot different, but she will be better. This next one is another sad story. It's at a point where I've decided to frog it. I have to do this in black and white because this colorway has not yet been released, but my plan for the fall was to do texture. I wanted all of my designs to have like a fun, funky texture. Maybe that was a little bit more than I could chew, but this was the cable, that's the back. Let me show you the front. The cable yoke sweater, which I was thinking was going to be the cable yoke sweater of my dreams, and it's just not. The cables are beautiful. The yarn is beautiful. When you get to see this yarn in full color, you will love it. It's by the Frosted Stitch, and Krista knows what she's doing with her colors, let me tell you. So I'm not sure how well the cables are showing up on the camera there. That is honestly a big reason why I'm nixing it, because this yarn is tonal. There are different shades within it. This piece is both hiding the tone, the beauty of the yarn, and it's hiding the beauty of the cables. Not great. On top of that, I'm not super happy with how the cables are behaving at the neckline, so then I was going to have to like do an applied ribbing on the neckline, which I don't love doing. And then on top of that too, I think I messed up my math somehow, and I'm ending up with way too much ease in the bust, and I wanted it to be slightly more fitted, and I don't know what is going on with my designing right now, but we are in a troubling time. Anyways, this one also, the way that I've done the cables, it's just eating yarn, like absolutely eating yarn. I am a size small, and I'm already on my 3rd skein of yarn at this point of the sweater. It is going to be too heavy. It's going to be too expensive for makers to make. It is DK weight, and I think that is my primary mistake is I should do it in a fingering weight. So I'm not entirely giving up on this concept. You will probably see it from me one day, maybe in the winter, maybe next fall. But this yarn is not going to be this sweater. I, this morning, finally made the call after a few days of deliberation that I'm going to frog this. And I've also had this idea of just doing like a super basic DK yoke. DK is my favorite weight of yarn to work with. I love creating circle yokes, and I don't have like an absolute beginner friendly DK weight yoke. So that's what I'm gonna do with it. And I cast that on this morning. Let me show you. This is where we're at. It's just a teeny tiny baby piece so far. That neckline looks really teeny tiny right now, but I promise it will grow with blocking and with the weight of the whole sweater on it. But I do want it to be a crew neck. It has my favorite ribbing on it. 3 rows of slip stitch back loop only and 1 row of half double crochet back loop only. It creates almost what looks like a 2x2 ribbing in knitting, but it's crochet. And it is just going to be half double crochet all day for the yoke, the body, the sleeves. I will do the same ribbing for cuff and probably hem as well too. It's going to be relatively similar to my Faye sweater. I'll throw a photo of her up here, but Faye is a little bit more challenging. This one is going to be a lot easier. Faye has instructions for evenly spacing out increases between those raglan lines, whereas this one is just going to be like half double crochet 3, work an increase, half double crochet 4, work an increase. It's going to be step by step and have everything that you need in it. And I'm gonna love it. It's just gonna be that perfect wardrobe staple. The cables are a little extra. I'm not that extra. I like things that are simple and basic, and I gotta stick to my roots. Back in 2022, let me put this away so that I can come back in color. So it was back in 2022 that I actually started doing design mentorship. I was getting a lot of questions in my inbox from other crocheters who wanted to get into designing about grading, about fitting, about stitches and all kinds of different things. And I didn't want to give what's in here out for free. So I set up a design mentorship program. I don't offer it anymore, but in that design mentorship program, I kept hitting it home to my students, like, you need to keep it simple. There's that rule in life, right? KISS, keep it simple, stupid. And I've realized that recently I have not been doing that. And I think that's where a lot of the frustrations are coming from in my designing right now, where a lot of the mistakes are coming from. And then it's resulting in me needing to do a lot of frogging, which is not fun. I barely have any time to crochet as it is. Like, I don't have time to be crocheting one design 3 times. That's craziness. I don't have that kind of time. So I need to keep it simple, stupid. I need to keep it simple. So I'm keeping it simple with that. That sweater will be coming out in October. It is with the frosted stitch yarn. Like I said, that colorway will be released, I believe, at the end of this month. So I'll probably pop back in at the end of the month to show you the color and to show you the progress on that sweater. Now, here's the problem is I want to give adequate time for testing, obviously. And for a DK weight sweater, I want to give at least 8 weeks. That sweater pattern's supposed to come out the 2nd week in October, which means I need to be getting this pattern to testers by the end of the month. And I am flying to BC next Sunday. So I think I need to finish it before I leave for BC so that I can do a tester call and potentially write the pattern up while I'm in BC or flying to or from BC. It's gonna be a lot, but I can do it. I can definitely do it. It's DK weight, it's half double crochet all day. We're gonna fly through it, but it's gonna be tight. Another reason it's going to be tight is because I am once again taking another day off this week because my little pup is turning 16 on Wednesday. It is his champagne or golden birthday this year. He's 16 on the 16th. So send Boomer some happy birthday love and wishes in the comments, please. I will read them off to him. All right, let's look at my list here. I showed you Miranda. I showed you Mayci the skirt. I showed you the triangle pullover who doesn't have a name yet. The cable yoke that is no longer going to be a cable yoke. Ooh, the next one. So in November, I've teamed up with Bad Sheep Yarn for the first time ever. I'm going to be doing a kit with them for a sweater scarf, and let me show you the yarn. I just got it a couple days ago. I have never, ever, 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 ever worked with Stellina, and I am pretty positive you will not be able to see just how sparkly this yarn is in this video. It's stunning. We're going for festive, Christmassy, wintry, wear me to a holiday party, wear me to a New Year's Eve party, wear me to a winter wedding sweater scarf wrap. This might show the sparkle a little better. Can you see it? You can probably see it a little bit, but it's absolutely stunning. So this is their Stellina fingering base. I think they call it sparkle fingering, and the colorway is garland, which is also kind of festive sounding. So that is the project that I am going to be taking to BC with me. That is why I need to finish that yoke before I leave, because I need a small project for my trip to BC because I booked the like ultra budget fare and I can only bring a backpack with me. So I'll be bringing this. Now, I do have designs planned out until February of 2026 at this point, which is wild to me, but I'm going to keep some secrets for future Stitching Sunday episodes. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out, because I have some really exciting things planned for December, a free pattern here on YouTube. January and February, I'm teaming up with somebody that I've teamed up with before but haven't in a while. In other business news, I have been trying to explore different ways to make money for my business. Pattern sales have been really good and steady, but they have not been increasing in 3 years. And if you've been following me on social media for a while, you'll know that I used to live in my camper van, and my cost of living was very, very low in the camper van. Now I am living in an apartment in Canada, which is one of the countries in the world with the highest cost of living, and we are just barely making ends meet right now. It's not cute. So I'm trying to find other creative ways to make money for my business. I'm focusing a lot here on my YouTube channel to try and monetize. I am trying to pump my affiliate links more on my social media. And I'm super excited that I'm starting to get some brand deals like I've never gotten before. I'm doing kits which are paid. I have some paid sponsored content coming to my Instagram account soon. And it's really exciting for me, and I hope that you'll all continue to support me as I find other ways to monetize this business so that I can continue to provide amazing content to you without any additional cost to you. In that process, I decided that I wanted to create a price list. I've never really had a price list for my designs because I've never really partnered in that way before. Typically, what I do is I just get yarn support and there's no money exchanged. I just agree to make something from the yarn that I get from a yarn company or from an indie dyer. But now that I'm getting into doing kits, I need to know how much I should be charging that company for rights to my pattern. Those prices vary though based on how big the company is. Like if you're a bigger company, I know you have a bigger budget. And it also depends on other types of like monetary compensation that I can get from those deals. So does the company have an affiliate program? So when they launch the kit with my pattern, I can provide my affiliate link to my customers to use, and I get a small commission from any of those sales. or some companies offer a commission on kit or pattern sales on their website. So it does require a little bit of tweaking, but it was kind of a fun experiment for me to actually put a dollar value on a thing that I design. I think in a future video I might actually go over those dollar amounts with you, but I haven't fully finalized them yet, and I'm trying to get more comfy talking about money. It is still a little bit uncomfortable for me, as you can see by me getting all tense and weird. But it is an exciting thing that's coming up. Additionally, I have been getting some sponsored deals for Instagram Reels, and I have done 2 or 3 in the past, and I have 2 or 3 coming up in the next month. And that's kind of cool, being like, my going rate for a 30-second reel is this amount. And they're like, yeah, sure. Getting paid to make content? Never. I never, ever, ever thought that was something that was possible or accessible to me. And I love it. Lastly, we're always going to wrap up Stitching Sundays with a coupon code for a featured design. Today's featured design is the Odette Cami. It is hot outside right now, so I felt like doing something that is meant for the hot weather. If you want to get 25% off the Odette Cami between now and the end of day Saturday Eastern Time, use the code Sunday25 on my website or Ravelry for that 25% off. That coupon is only good for the Odette Cami though. Thank you all so much for watching episode 1 of Stitching Sunday. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, wish Mr. Boomer a happy 16th birthday in the comments below. See you soon.